Thank you, Chris. Yeah, so without getting into the weeds, I'll talk primarily about a national contact center customer that we have, and that's Zillow. They are I'm sure most of you have heard of Zillow. Next slide, Chris. They're a leading real estate and online rental marketplace. The data in this particular example is Salesforce.com. They're a heavy Salesforce.com shop. They use that nationally. And in this particular example, they're using the ShoreTel Enterprise Contact Center that we've implemented for them. So there's a few challenges actually. The impetus to this project, Zillow had acquired Trulia, and they were using two different contact center systems. I believe there was a cloud-based contact center system. One was using LiveOps. Trulia was using LiveOps, and Zillow was using a more rudimentary form of contact center, which was ShoreTel Workgroups, and they weren't using ShoreTel's Enterprise Contact Center. So the idea was to displace essentially both disparate contact centers, merge their two PBX systems together, and then leverage a very tight integration between the ShoreTel Enterprise Contact Center and their Salesforce.com. So this is a fairly complex integration, but to keep it more 30,000 foot, essentially when a call comes into Zillow, we recognize the caller ID and we query the Salesforce.com database. So I use this as an example. This is a cloud-based application. It doesn't have to be an on-site or a premises-based database. And based on that, we're looking for a couple of things. Does the caller ID match a client that we know about or a lead that we know about in Salesforce? And if so, route it to the sales rep that manages that account. If not, route it to the sales rep that last spoke to that account, right? And if there is no match, let's look at the area code and route that call to the actual geographic-based sales team that can better take care of that particular lead or customer as quickly as possible. Because with Zillow, it's all about conversions. It's getting the caller to the right person at the right time that can better take care of their needs, best take care of their needs immediately. And so this is really important to them. So this is an example of kind of using 2 or 3 logic steps in getting the call quickly to the right person. Next slide.
Sure, and I want to add one more comment to that. What was hidden beneath this that you're not seeing is that was paramount to Zillow, and I'm sure if you've watched television that you've seen their advertisements on a regular basis. One of the things that was critical for them is in the background, we needed to gather marketing information and numbers to push that information into their BI applications. So what we worked with them on is helping them understand where the data is located and the best use of data, but probably most importantly, letting them use a naming and numbering convention that mattered to them. In this way, we were able to push data into their Salesforce that lets their Salesforce folks, some people are numbers-minded, some people are name-minded. It allows them to report in the best possible way for each of those specific users.
Yeah, just to reiterate what Chris is saying, the other piece of this, they wanted a single pane of glass for their business intelligence and for their reporting. And so we're taking CDR data, call detail records data from the contact center and pushing it into Salesforce. So now via a single pane of glass, they can see important metrics and thresholds based on both applications, their contact center and their CRM piece. Other things to think about. So skills-based routing, priority-based routing, other things that we're layering into this with Zillow is understanding who's best capable to take care of this particular caller. And that's a skill. And if you recognize who the customer is and you leverage your data correctly and dynamically, we can then implement skills-based routing and route that call to the agent that can best take care of that particular caller. So this is probably different than a lot of people are implementing on skills-based routing where it's more menu-driven. This is dynamic. This is happening under the hood, transparent to the caller. Also collecting multiple data points along the way, like Chris was talking about. How do we collect multiple data points along the way, whether it's the particular option they selected in a menu, maybe information we pulled out of the caller ID, information we pulled, fields that we pulled from the database, and presenting all that information in a nice tidy package to the agent so they can quickly take care of that customer, which is really a win-win, right? not only are you improving efficiencies within your contact center organization and minimizing call transactions, but you're also creating a better customer experience for the caller. And the last example here would be priority-based routing, and that's, again, that's kind of the holy grail to me. If I recognize that this is a high revenue customer, I want to recognize that early on, and I want to do something with that call. I want to provide special treatment to that call. I want to route it to specific people in my organization that are more apt to take care of that customer. All of these things are layered into the particular example we're using with Zillow.
Sure, I want to add dovetail on that. One of the things, and this is not Zillow specific, but one of the things that has really been a driver for some of the customers I worked for is agent performance. So if you're a lead generation or marketing machine, being able to convert on the floor, it has an impact. So I've had worked with clients in the past that had a database solely based on agent performance, success rate of conversions, and the conversion table was absolutely used to see who got that call. So if Sally Jones was our top producer for today, she got the first opportunity for the next call. If tomorrow she's not the top conversion agent, then somebody else will get the call. So think of how different ways data can be used to affect different bottom lines.